What if you don't need to live in pain and suffering? What if you could give up your karma and have a life of abundance and joy? What if you could start creating magic and miracles that you never thought were possible? Get ready to listen, share, and experience the magic that is you. Now, here's the host of Creating Abundance with Ease radio show, Dr. Helen Gitlevich.
Welcome. I'm Dr. Helen Gitlevich on Creating Abundance with Ease. And today our show is fairness and justice. How much do you believe in fairness and justice? How much are you being treated fair and just? And are you treating others fair and just? Let us play with those. Let us play with tools that can create something that is beyond fair and just. I'm kind of like my background is being a medical doctor, which is kind of far away from fairness and justice. It's more about, I know it all. I'm going to do the test. I'll tell you what to do. And disease is never fair and just. Especially something like cancer or heart disease or anything like that, which kind of would happen with me. Well, not happen, I created it. So let's be fair. I did create it at 37, open heart surgery, bypass, and it's kind of changed my life. And now I am a certified facilitator with Access Consciousness, 3D Body Facilitator, Akashic Records, consultant, teacher, founder of School of Akashic Records, kind of like all of that, published author, artist. I have so many hats. Just because I chose to create an illness, to wake me up. Was it fair? According to this reality, probably not. According to me, oh my God, that was so fair. It was so good. It was such a gift. Anything can be a gift in our lives. And with all of that, about 10 years ago, I found Access Consciousness. I was struggling, let's face it. After the surgery, I went into major depression because I couldn't work. I was stuck. I had many complications. And I'm like, okay, what do I do with my life? I started with becoming an artist. And that kind of like, it's still my hobby. I love it with a passion. I still paint. Not as often as I like, because I don't have as much time, I would say. Because I've been traveling a lot. I've been doing a lot of classes around the world, sessions, changing people's lives. And you can find more about me on my webpage, Creating Abundance with Ease. It's translated into Russian and it's translated into Spanish. We're not able to connect it yet. Hopefully within the next couple of weeks, it will be connected to Spanish translation and other translations will be coming soon. So fair and just, because I know each one of us trying to be fair and just to others, because there is that saying, treat others as you would like to be treated. And we do. And yet, are we being treated fair and just? Especially nowadays, with all that pandemic and separation and mandates and all of that. Is that fair? Is it just? Probably not. But what if it's fair and just are just judgments? What if all of it, right, wrong, good, bad, it's all just judgments? What if there is no fair and just? What if there is no right and wrong? What if there is no good and bad? A lot of times I like to take extreme examples. Like, let's say stealing. Is stealing bad? Is stealing fair? No. But what if somebody is so hungry, they go and steal a piece of bread? And then in certain countries, years ago, like, well, in Middle Ages, they would take their hand away. Was that fair? No. What if there is no fairness and justice in the world? What if it's all invented to control you? Oh, wait, yeah, that's what it is. What if it's about asking the questions and being the question of what create more here instead of, am I being fair? Because look at that question. Or is it fair for me? Are they being fair to me? It's all about judging and walking on that tightrope between good and bad, right and wrong, fair, unfair, just, unjust. All of that is just being just a hair away from judgments and making yourself and making others wrong. Is it working for you in that moment, in this moment, in your life, in your relationships? Well, it wasn't working for me, especially 10 years ago or before. I'm talking about first time when I encountered access consciousness too. Actually, even before. Even when I was working with Akashic Records, I remember, because I've been playing in the field of consciousness for a while, actually since I was a child. I remember having, I wouldn't say enlightened moment, but it was a moment of oneness where everything was as it should be. Everything was just pure love, pure allowance, pure no judgment. It was amazing. It was beyond this reality, and I always was searching for that. When I encountered Akashic Records 25 years ago, I literally was, wow, this is it. Because when you enter the field of Akashic Records or Akashic field, this is a field of consciousness, field of infinite possibility where everything is possible and you're not judged. And I remember working with somebody or playing in the field, opening their records, doing consultation. And the question of integrity came in, which is kind of part of being fair. And I got this like, really? There is no integrity, because integrity is just being whole. It has nothing about being fair. Integrity is literally when things are working. It has nothing to do with fairness, the rightness, the answers to whatever it is. It's about being who we are. When we try to judge ourselves, we're stepping out of it. We're stepping out of being into the reality of judgment. Because if you're being, there is no fair or just, there's just being. There's you, the space, the oneness, consciousness, and that includes everything. when we are trying to be fair, we are actually in that place, not even space, in a place where you have to decide if it's good or bad, if it's fair or unfair, if it's fair for you, if it's fair for them. And most of the time, it's going to be just that, separation and judgment. When we step out of the system of fairness and justice, because that's kind of like the criminal system. Think about it. Proven until guilty. Proven innocent until proven guilty, or innocent until proven guilty in one system. And there is a system when you're proven guilty, when you're guilty until you're proven innocent. I totally confused those two. But anyway, different countries have different system of justice. So in some countries, you have to prove your innocence. In some countries, you have to prove like the other side has to prove your guilt. In both cases, what is that? It's according to whom is this judgment. Because if you have a good lawyer, even if you're guilty, they might get you out of it based on technicalities. Is it fair? Maybe, maybe not. If you're innocent and you have a bad lawyer or a lawyer that is not competent and they fail to prove the innocence, you go to jail. Is it fair? No. Or maybe, what if it has nothing to do with fair and just? What if it's about choices? And I'll leave you with that question because it's time for our first break of the show. And when we return, we'll talk more about choice versus judgment. And you've been listening to Creating Abundance with Ease with myself, Dr. Helen Gitlevich on Inspired Choices Network. And we will be right back.
Many of us live our lives based on karma, on the past, and all the unfinished business in our lives. What would you choose if you did not have karma, or if you could choose what you desired instead? By tuning into Creating Abundance with Ease radio show with Dr. Helen Gitlevich, you'll receive tools and inspiration you can use to create the abundance in your life. You are an infinite being with infinite choices. Are you ready to have ease with creating abundance? Listen for Creating Abundance with Ease radio show every Wednesday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 11 a.m. Central, 10 a.m. Mountain, and 9 a.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
Are you a subject matter expert? Are you here to share your expertise with an audience waiting to hear from you in only the way you can deliver? Are you ready to have your voice amplified across the airwaves? Inspired Choices Network has a global radio platform streaming to millions of people across the world. Professionally produced and supported by an accomplished team every step of the way, you can broadcast from anywhere in the world, knowing your voice matters, and we ensure it is delivered with ease and efficiency. Eager to hear your message, the world awaits. Contact us today to become an Inspired Choices Network radio host. Email become a host at inspiredchoicesnetwork.com.
This is the Creating Abundance with Ease show with Dr. Helen Gitlevich. To participate in the program, join our live studio audience in our chat room at inspiredchoicesnetwork.com. You can also make the choice to ask or comment by email by sending to helen.g@att.net. Now, back to the program.
Welcome forward, everyone. I'm Dr. Helen Gitlevich on Creating Abundance with Ease. and on Inspired Choices Network. And today our show is Fairness and Justice. And before we went on a break in our first part, we were talking about that fairness and justice is pretty much just judgments. And we touched on the justice system of different countries, that it's about who has a better lawyer to prove if you're innocent or guilty. Is it justice? Is it fair? Just? It's not about that. It's about choice. Choice creates more. What do you choose? Do you choose to live and function according to the laws of this reality, where you have to judge everything you do, everything everybody else does? Or would you choose the space of being? And let's play with that. And in a few shows, if you listen to the archive, I have probably over 100 shows right now. You will find that we do a lot of times the expansion meditation, and you can download it for free from my website, creatingabundancewithease.com. It will put you on our email list automatically, and you can always unsubscribe. The meditation is totally free. At this moment, it's only in English, but other languages are coming as well. So right now, just if you are where you can be very comfortable, sitting, laying down, just relax, drop your barriers, and just allow yourself to see, to feel, to be where you are. Just sense your body, sense where you are in relationship to your body. And just notice you're the space between the molecules. You're actually not your body, but it includes your body. So just expand and just sense, if you can sense the walls in the room you're sitting, if you're not in the room, just space around you, maybe a kilometer or a mile around you, and expand in all directions, but make sure your barriers are down. Those healthy boundaries, a lot of times they don't work. Healthy boundaries are more about keeping you in than others out, because as you notice, not that many people will respect your boundaries, but you are the one that's staying behind the walls. What if you don't have boundaries? What if you be everywhere? What if it's about awareness? Oh yeah, that's not fair. Is it? Just playing with you. Just drop your barriers, boundaries, protection, whatever it is, because none of it actually works. And I'm going to ask you a question. See for yourself, does it work? Is it yes or no? Which one feels lighter? By the way, whatever is true for you is going to be light and expanding. Whatever is alive will be heavy and contracting. So I'm sensing you got and know that the healthy boundaries or healthy barriers or whatever the protection is, it works. No, it doesn't. So drop them. If you choose, you don't have to. Expand maybe about a kilometer, a mile first, in all directions, like a sphere. Open your crown, allow the energy of the universe to go through you. Pull the energy of our planet, our wonderful Mother Earth, through your feet, through your body, and allow it to mix. And just expand that. You don't have to know how. Just imagine it and just follow, kind of like with me. Now expand about 10 miles, 100 miles, and you're probably much faster than you think. You're probably already a million miles away. So just expand, make yourself as big as Earth, and ask Earth from that space, what's fair to the Earth? Is Earth laughing at you? Yeah. But what instead of that question, what if you ask Earth, what can I contribute to you? And Earth, what can I receive? Oh, wait. But is it fair to receive from Earth without giving? But what if it's about reciprocating? You receive while you're gifting and gifting while you're receiving. What if it's about contribution? Is that fair? Again, fairness is a judgment. You can judge it as fair, and that's okay for now. But what if you go beyond fair and just? What if you go into the space of being, space of contribution, space of magic, space of miracles, where everything is possible and nothing is impossible? Just allow the contribution of Earth permeate every cell of your body, every energy particle of your being. And now expand beyond our universe and do the same thing with the universe. What contribution can I be to you, universe? And what contribution can you be to me? What can I receive? Oh my God, drop your barriers and receive. It's fair. It's just to receive from the universe as much as the universe is willing to give you, and the universe is willing to give you infinite. We are the ones that judging, and by judging, we are limiting the receiving. Just allow yourself to be more and more and more and more and more and more. And now let's expand into multiverse, multi-dimensions, and allow yourself to receive and gift simultaneously in that space of being, of the infinite space of multiverse and multi-dimensions. From that space, look at the concepts of fairness and just. How funny are they? Are they real? Or those are the inventions we created to limit our receiving? What if it's about what works for us? What if we choose to receive from every molecule, from every atom in the universe and multiverse? What would that create for you? What would that create for the world? How much can you melt the separation, all the systems of control, all the stuff that is not allowing you to choose more? How much are you limiting your universe, your space, by contracting into this reality? From that space of expansion, look at your life. Look at this reality. Is it big or is it small? To me, when I look at it, when I'm expanded, it's tiny. How much force do you have to use against you to limit you, to create that tiny space of not receiving? What if it's about you being that space that changes everything? And if you contract it, just expand again. Expand more, expand more, expand more. And again, look at this reality. What if you can function as the space and not as a tiny speck of this reality? Allow yourself from that space, ask what you desire. Just for a second, allow yourself go beyond the fair and just, what you deserve or don't deserve, what you can or cannot do, and ask, dear universe, please, could you give me more money, better relationship, more health, more wealth, more abundance, whatever you desire, just ask for it. And see what shows up. See what it will create in the space of the multiverse, the space of being. How much more can you create? It's such a lovely space. You can stay in that space through the break. You don't have to leave that space. You can be expanded and you can stay in that space till I come back or even beyond that. But it's time for our second break of the show. When we return, we'll talk more about going beyond fairness and justice. And you've been listening to Creating Abundance with Ease with myself, Dr. Helen Gitlevich, on Inspired Choices Network. We'll be right back.
Many of us live our lives based on karma, on the past, and all the unfinished business in our lives. What would you choose if you did not have karma, or if you could choose what you desired instead? By tuning into Creating Abundance with Ease radio show with Dr. Helen Gitlevich, you'll receive tools and inspiration you can use to create the abundance in your life. You are an infinite being with infinite choices. Are you ready to have ease with creating abundance? Listen for Creating Abundance with Ease radio show every Wednesday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 11 a.m. Central, 10 a.m. Mountain, and 9 a.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
Magic and abundance are everywhere. What if you could tap into abundance and start creating your life with complete and total ease? Working with Dr. Helen Gitlevich will give you exactly that, total ease in creating abundance in your life. Dr. Gitlevich creates classes all over the world, both in person and online. She works with you to create abundance with your money, with your body, with your relationships, with all areas of your life with total ease. Connect with Dr. Helen Gitlevich at creatingabundancewithease.com. Her contribution in your world will be a noticeable gift in a very short period of time.
How wonderful would it be to carry your favorite Inspired Choices Network host with you throughout your day? Well, now you can. Inspired Choices Network now has its very own mobile app. Our free app offers live streaming shows, along with thousands of podcasts and TV episodes. Our shows cover a wide variety of topics. Whether you're waking up with us, carrying us through the day, and taking us to bed with you, we're always here for you to enjoy. We're easy to find. Just search for Inspired Choices Network in the Apple App Store or Google Play Store.
This is the Creating Abundance with Ease show with Dr. Helen Gitlevich. To participate in the program, join our live studio audience in our chat room at inspiredchoicesnetwork.com. You can also make the choice to ask or comment by email by sending to helen.g@att.net. Now, back to the program.
Welcome forward, everyone. I'm Dr. Helen Gitlevich on Creating Abundance with Ease on the Inspired Choices Network. And today our show topic is fairness and justice. In the first two parts, we were talking about different things. First was kind of like that fairness and justice are just judgments. And we went into that quite a bit on the first part of the show. In the second, we did a meditation where we looked at the space of being, the expansion. And some of the people were staying there. Yeah, Bella, you can come. You can come here. We have a guest. My cat decided to contribute to our show, which is wonderful. Or not. And actually, animals are amazing. There is no fair and just. They follow what works for them. They follow what kind of like conscious choices are. They're hungry, so they eat. They're not hungry, they don't eat. If they don't have food, they'll ask for it. They don't think they deserve or don't deserve the food. And if they want to be petted, they want to be taken care of. Oh, believe me, they'll make sure that you will take care of them. It has nothing to do with right and wrong. You might be busy and they want attention, they'll get it. Is it fair? Who cares? But how much love you're getting from that animal that wants attention? What if it's not a wrongness? What if it's about choice? As I said, fairness and justice are just choices. Just like anything, just like right and wrong, good and bad, integrity. We talk a little bit about integrity in the first part. And as I said, definition of integrity is solidity. It's kind of like that it works. It's not broken. That's what integrity is. But people think of it as being fair, being just. All of it is just judgments. And when we go into judgment, what do we do? A lot of times we go into wrongness of us. Because I don't know, but all my life, I felt I was wrong. No matter what was going on. Even if there was a war of Afghanistan, it was my fault because I didn't stop it. On one hand. On the other hand, I felt very small, contracted, because it's like, no, I cannot stop the war. It's such a conflictual universes and realities that perpetrated on that fairness and justice. There is a lot of that has to do with religion that talks about fairness and justice, with government, with everything, the justice system. It takes a lot to step away from fairness because it's pretty much connected with deserving. Because if you get more, is it fair to others? Oh my God, I just realized something, because part of the fairness and justice system is to perpetrate the idea of lack, that the universe is lacking, meaning that there is only limited supplies of everything in the world. And if you take more, then somebody else will get less. But what if it's not true? Oh, wait, it's not true. It's a lie that we've been buying all our lives. Because look at the universe, look at nature. It's abundant. I just came back from Mexico. I lived in the jungle. Well, not really lived in the jungle, but the resort or apartment Airbnb that I was renting was kind of in the city, but in Tulum, but it was in a jungle, kind of like the house was kind of part of the jungle. They didn't cut any trees. It was all around me. It was so abundant. The energy of the birds, the trees, everything was so amazing. Was it fair that I was there enjoying it? According to this reality, probably not. Because according to this reality, I was that evil rich person that enjoying life while other people are working and in sweat and blood and all of that. But what if it's the worst lie that perpetrated in this reality? What if everybody can have abundance? What if it's there just to ask? There is an idea that communism, which was twisted and turned, but the original was the utopia where people just ask and they received. By the way, I am totally against communism because communism in its sense right now, I lived through that. I lived through socialism. It ain't working. It's one of those things that totally has no fairness or justice. It's all about unfair and unjust. But fairness and justice and unfairness and injustice are pretty much the same. It's two sides of the same coin. You cannot have justice without injustice. You cannot have fairness without unfairness. It's the polarity of this reality that keeps it in place. That's a mic drop. I know. It's probably going to be a meme. But it's still, people believe in that. People go for it. And that's what keeps it in place. It's, if you're watching it instead of just listening on the audio, because there's like 200 platforms where it will go to audio and 50 TV stations, but I'm holding a string on two sides. One side is fair, the other one is unfair. So somebody is holding the fair side. And unfair drops. It doesn't exist anymore. But if you hold on to both sides, oh, he's been unfair to me, or oh, she's been fair. I've been fair to her. Yeah, right. No, let's give it up completely. Let's for a second, or 10 seconds, I would say, let's go into the space of fair or unfair. There is a tool that I would like to share with you. It's Access Consciousness tool. Access Consciousness has been created by Gary Douglas and co-created with Dr. Dane here. And it's a 10 seconds increment to live your life. So for the next 10 seconds, let's say you choose to be fair to, like, pick a person, pick a group of people, or yourself. For the next 10 seconds, and I'm going to time us, let's choose to be fair, whatever fair means to you, fair and just. And just allow yourself that energy of fairness to permeate your life. And now start being unfair, whatever it looks like to you. Unfair, unjust, or imagine people being unfair to you, or you being unfair to people. Now choose to be fair again. Maybe being fair to other people. And now be unfair. At this point, for me, both kind of like the same. There is no difference, which it is. There is no difference. It is just a concept, a judgment, a solidity, and it stops the flow of energy. Because go back to being fair. Do you feel the flow of energy, or is it just fair? Okay, now unfair. Again, it's like contraction. And now let's drop that. Let's forget about being fair and just. Let's just be space of allowance. An allowance it's about allowing people to be who they are, what they are, fair, unfair, whatever they choose to be, and us to be who we are, what we are, with no definition, no control of other people or ourselves. Just be. Just allow that energy to be. And it's time for our third and final break of the show. Our show is coming to the end. And you've been listening to Creating Abundance with Ease with myself, Dr. Helen Gitlevich, on Inspired Choices Network. We'll be right back.
Many of us live our lives based on karma, on the past, and all the unfinished business in our lives. What would you choose if you did not have karma, or if you could choose what you desired instead? By tuning into Creating Abundance with Ease radio show with Dr. Helen Gitlevich, you'll receive tools and inspiration you can use to create the abundance in your life. You are an infinite being with infinite choices. Are you ready to have ease with creating abundance? Listen for Creating Abundance with Ease radio show every Wednesday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 11 a.m. Central, 10 a.m. Mountain, and 9 a.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
This is the Creating Abundance with Ease show with Dr. Helen Gitlevich. To participate in the program, join our live studio audience in our chat room at InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. You can also make the choice to ask or comment by email by sending to helen.g@att.net. Now, back to the program.
Welcome forward, everyone. I'm Dr. Helen Gitlevich on Creating Abundance with Ease on Inspired Choices Network. And today, our show topic is fairness and justice. And our show is coming to the end. We have only probably less than 10 minutes left. Is it fair? Is it just? Probably not, but that's life. That's what it is. And that's what I'm trying to convey. There is no fair or just. There is just a choice. There is what is. And if we start judging, we are losing part of life. We're not aware of what's in front of us. So next week, but don't be upset because the podcast is every week on Wednesdays at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time, 12 o'clock Eastern Time. And you can find out more on Inspired Choices Network website. Next week, we have another show in English, Stop Divorcing You. And it's pretty much when we are in relationships or not having a relationship, a lot of times we're cutting part of ourselves. We're divorcing you because we're not allowing ourselves to be totally us. Also, there are classes coming up. I'm going to Ukraine in Kiev. It's going to be multiple classes, starting with just a meeting and creating abundance with ease on the 23rd evening, and then bars, foundation, and body class with facelift. There's going to be a 3-day body class in Istanbul, co-facilitated with Dmitry Kalinkin, as well as these daily clearings that you can join in Facebook, Being You Without Hiding, where I'm doing it with Rachel Silber. You can find out more where I am in the world by going to my website, Creating Abundance with Ease, as well as on accessconsciousness.com. There is a lot to explore. It's about choices. You can join me on Facebook, Instagram, watch free webinars that I've done on YouTube channel, which called Creating Abundance with Ease. So there is so much more, and you can always email me with a question. There is it's Telegram chat. I was going to say WhatsApp chat, but no, it's Telegram chat. That's for Russian speaking people, with all the announcements. I do their Telegram videos, etc. And it's about what can we create in our lives. And we do have a question, where does forgiveness come in fairness and justice? Well, when you go beyond fairness and justice, there is no forgiveness. There is no upset. There is no hurt anymore. Because the only time when you can have guilt, shame, blame, or regret is when you're judging you for being fair or not fair, just or unjust, when you're judging others if they're just or unjust to you. When you don't have that system of control, you don't have that system of right and wrong, there is no more forgiveness to give or take or clear. It's pretty much you being in the moment. It's just like animals. Do they forgive or they just move on? There is a story about a horse where the owner hit it, let's say with a stick. It hurts. The horse looks at the owner, okay, it hurts, and then he gave the carrot. Okay, it's fine now, I get the carrot. There is no emotions. What happens to the person? They get hit, let's say, emotionally, physically, doesn't matter. And they go into, oh my God, that hurts, they've been unjust. Then they go into, oh, I'm upset because I'm hurt. I'm upset because I'm upset that they hurt me. And the snowball effect continues until it turns into such a big trauma and drama that the person doesn't even know what started it. I've had it happen to me where I'm upset with somebody and I'm like, 3 years later, I'm not talking to them, and I'm like, wait a second, why am I not talking to them? What was that thing that triggered it? What was that unfairness that created it? What if instead of judging fair or unfair and going into forgiveness or non-forgiveness, what if we actually go into gratitude for everything and everyone? Because gratitude does not have judgment in there. It doesn't have fairness or justice. Gratitude can be for good, for bad, for right, for wrong, for fair, for just, for unjust, for unfair, because we're learning something. I started our conversation in the first part about my heart disease and that I had years ago. I had surgery and how unfair that was in that moment, according to mom, according to my mother, according to this reality, according to a lot of my friends, according to a lot of my patients, because I had a very extensive medical practice as a family physician. I was unfair to them that I quit. Oh, yes, that too. So there was a lot of unfairness and judgment and all of that. But I'm so grateful for that because it's changed my tracks. It's changed not who I was, but it's changed my perception of the world. It allowed me to create a different reality for me and a lot of other people. Because yes, as a doctor, I did touch a lot of lives. I did save a lot of lives. I'm not minimizing that. And yet, I know that right now, I'm changing a lot of lives as well. And moving from the fairness and justice system into gratitude creates so much more. Just feel the space between fairness, justice, and gratitude. How much more expanded gratitude is. What if every day we start our day, instead of looking how to be fair, what if we start looking how can we be more grateful for each one person in our lives, for each thing in our lives? And just to remind you that if you have any questions, you can connect to me on all the social media platform pretty much, and email me through website on helen.g@att.net. There is a lot of ways to connect to me. There is a Linktree link where there are a lot of links to my classes and to me. I'm so grateful for each one of you who joined me live as a live studio audience on Zoom, as well as who join on audio platforms. There is an app, Inspired Choices Network, where it goes live and all the recorded show, where you can watch and listen to archives. You can also listen to archives on all the podcast systems like YouTube and Spotify, iTunes, etc. And I'll see you next week. Same time, same place, with next week will be Stop Divorcing You. See you soon. Love you all and so grateful. Bye-bye.
Thank you for choosing to listen to Creating Abundance with Ease radio show. Dr. Helen Gitlevich will return next Wednesday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 11 a.m. Central, 10 a.m. Mountain, and 9 a.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. We hope you'll join us. Until then, have fun using the tools of the week in your life and start creating magic in your life and your body.